And Russell's extraordinarily funny, you know.
Here we are, top of the mountain. In this entire building, there's only two people that know you are going to win this fight tonight.
I'm so happy to be in the presence of an actor that I have admired for so long on a personal level. So welcome to Al Estrellato, my YouTube channel, Daniel MacPherson.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's a lovely introduction. Thank you so much.
I'm very, very happy to see you today here in Miami and with this film that, to be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of boxing to begin with.
Yeah.
But knowing that you are in it, obviously I was like, wow, this has to be like a piece of a good story.
Yeah.
So my first question to you is, what part of this story, Daniel, felt maybe uncomfortably close to you? And if that was the case, did you lean into it, or did you veer away to protect yourself?
Everyone talks about the physical transformation and the physical kind of challenges to transform yourself into an MMA fighter, but this was also about fatherhood, about providing for your family, and it was also about something that I brought to it personally was it's also about a man who's maybe lost his way in his early 40s. He's had great success in his career early on, and now he's struggling under the weight of expectation and responsibility of fatherhood, of marriage, of his family, of his brother, of relationships that have fractured. And he's lost his own sense of direction, his own sense of purpose, his own sense of identity. Yeah, there were parts of that I could really relate to, particularly around family and around moving forward in purpose, but also so many people I know, men I know, and friends of friends or all around the world. There's a crisis in men's mental health and men's suicide, and particularly those transitioning. I've worked on Strike Back, so I got a great education and friendships within the military and veteran community. My background was sport. I know there's a lot of sportsmen, high-level sportsmen and women that really struggle to transition out of life as a high-performing, high-achieving sports person. And that was something that I just really wanted to touch on and sort of pay my respects to. And also, it just gave Patton another level of something else that he was fighting for. I was kind of honored to put that in there.
Absolutely. If your character in Beast could see you play him, what would you say maybe would impress him the most?
I think Patton is such an old school, traditional man. He values right and wrong. He values hard work. He may not be the most talented fighter, but he's definitely the hardest worker. And he's got so much grit and determination. And I guess that's sort of things that maybe I've taken throughout my career of never giving up and constantly kind of reinventing myself, or constantly kind of just taking on new challenges and things that I want to do at a higher level. Look, I think he'd be respectful of my work ethic that I took into this character and this role. I think he'd be respectful of how I wanted to pay sort of my respect to real fighters and the MMA industry and the MMA culture and those that have devoted their lives to martial arts. I think he'd be respectful of the way we approach that in this film. But yeah, he's an old school kind of dude, Patton.
I like that answer. I love it. So was there any dynamic maybe between the actors or the characters that you would have liked that made the final cut? Something that maybe happened that nobody really knows about, that you would have loved that it made the final cut.
What? There was actually a lot of humor. There was a lot of humor. There was a lot of humor with Russell and myself that didn't make the final film. Maybe it took out too much of the pressure, because there's a lot of pressure and intensity in this film. But there was some. Russell's extraordinarily funny, and he added some great humor to this. So maybe there's another cut of this film, a director's cut that has some of those gags in there. But no, look, they did a great job editing this film, and really keeping it tight, keeping it moving. It's got so much heart, it's got so much emotion, and then that final act when we go to Bangkok, Thailand, in front of 10,000 people. I still get emotional watching it,
It is very emotional. And conversely, was there anything, Daniel, that happened maybe between takes, or, anything at all that maybe you said to yourself, that break point where you said maybe, oh my God, this might not come together?
Oh, all the time. I mean, this film should not have got made. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, from finance to location to actors' availabilities to injuries to weather to all these things we had to fight for. We had to fight every single day to get this film made. But that intensity of that fight and the frustration of that fight is all on screen, and it just adds to the kind of magic feel of it all, that we're all fighting and frustrated the whole way through.
Absolutely. Congratulations. This is such a great art piece. I know that it's going to be, a success, not only here, in Miami, but everywhere in the world where people have the opportunity to watch Beast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're so proud of it. It's got so much heart, and thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
This was Daniel MacPherson for Al Estrellato.